America, and welcome to the Home Front. My name is Michelle Posey. Thank you so much for joining us today. We always like to start off by telling you, I hope you have a full cup of coffee, because we are that unfiltered,
Try not to spit it out.
I love it. We are that unfiltered, uncensored other show, the one that gives you the whole view. So we have a panel of wonderful women. We like to start off with a little bit of an icebreaker, and I try not to make these too outrageous. But
She's
today,
lying.
Today,
It's all lies.
Today, I will check today because I know they've got their cell phones on them. Today, I want to know, ladies, your first name. So you'll tell the audience your first name and what's the most used emoji on your phone.
Oh.
We'll start down here at this end of the table.
Yes. As you crack up.
It's always me. I'm Allie. I can't tell you.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Allie.
No,
I love it.
because I'm on X all the time, I use the American flag, the eagle, and like the strong arm.
muscle?
Yeah.
The muscle. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
like
Okay,
that.
I like that. I'm going to trust you because I know her really well.
I don't.
I'm not going to trust
her.
her.
I need proof.
We need to see it.
Yeah.
Hand it over.
I bet you. Oh.
I'm not.
I wouldn't want to know.
I cannot confirm.
This is
nor
the PG
deny.
version.
I love it. I love it.
My turn? Yes. Okay, I'm Bailey, and I use this with the peek through emoji.
Oh, I love that
That's
one.
my favorite,
That's
yeah.
one of my
It's
favorites.
so
Yeah.
necessary right
This
now.
day and age, it's like constant.
Yes.
Like, oh
Constant.
my
Like,
gosh.
did I really
Yeah.
read that?
Yes.
Or
I
this
do the
one?
roll,
Or that
the
one,
eye
yeah.
roll.
Yes.
I use that
That
one all
one.
the time.
Yeah.
And then this
Especially
one
with
when
her.
I'm being sarcastic.
She uses it with me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so many.
I love that. I love that, Bailey.
Well, I'm Brianna, and my most used emoji would be the one where it's like, this one, like.
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
I like that. You do that really well.
Literally, I know.
Very
Like
I
for
do.
real?
Yeah.
Very
I
sus.
yeah.
Yeah.
You use that a
there's-
lot?
That's
Yeah.
the vibe.
There's no real explanation.
Yeah.
It's me.
doing
I'm
it
always
right now.
sarcastic.
I just have Botox.
No, okay.
because it's still.
Here's
Are they
my
getting
God.
a week of people? Clinic.
my saying is, oh, so you hate me and want me to die with that emoji, and I say it for like 7 times a
Oh,
day.
that is
Way
so
too
my
much. She says it
gosh.
way too much.
That sounds about right
Like,
for her age.
no, sorry, we can't go get ice cream. Oh, so you hate me and want me to die.
Oh, me use that.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Okay.
a family TV show. I don't know what's happening.
I'm Tanya, and one of the ones I love using is the nerdy one with the black
glasses.
glasses.
Oh,
yes.
Wait.
I even have it as my son's name, and the
Oh,
little
no.
nerdy one.
Oh my
Every
god.
time I see, I'm like, that's
That's
just
hilarious.
classic.
Do you
It's
guys
just the-
know Sketch? You probably have never heard. I don't want to make y'all sound old, but you probably don't.
whoa.
Do you? What's up, brother? Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Tuesday.
I got you, girl.
So
I got no clue.
literally all the time, my friends will say something and I'll be like, "That is not correct, brother." With like a hand, like this, and then like the little nerdy glasses. brother.
And then there's the skibbity.
Oh my god.
Oh
Every
no.
time I say,
I don't.
How are you so cool?
skibbity toilet riz?
Oh god.
What?
I have no clue what they're
I
talking
cannot.
about. I mean, or you know.
Oh my gosh. You wanna know my brother
so
says?
Sigma.
So do you know what-
Sigma Riz?
No. Do you know what Riz is?
What the
It
Sigma?
doesn't matter if I
Do you
know
know
what
what
it
it is?
means.
Hold on.
You just use
Let
it
me
anyway.
explain it. Let me
Super
explain
cool
it.
in front of my
Let me
kids.
explain
You've
it.
gone downhill very
Listen,
quickly.
Yes.
hold on,
Go
this
ahead.
is
It's the-
important. So Riz is like your way of like getting someone to
Charisma.
like you. It's like your way of like
Charisma.
flirting.
Yeah,
And
it's a
so
flirt.
my brother created
every word.
Tismrism. Tismrism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
wow.
he claims that he's acoustic, autistic. And so he's like, oh, I have the Tismrism.
Tism Riz.
Oh my gosh, guys, we haven't even made it through the panel. Do you see what we deal with on here?
Yes.
This
It's
is good
wicked
TV. This is
cool.
good TV. I love it.
Remember
Wicked cool.
Did you tell us yours yet?
Wicked cool.
Oh my gosh, we got
yeah,
so
she,
sidetracked.
remember?
What was it?
No, I
She
did.
can't-
It was the nerdy one Yeah. with the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so your turn.
I was paying attention.
It's so me. It's so me. I'm
Wait,
like,
I love it. I love it.
So
Are you
mine.
checking?
Yeah. So my name is Michelle. I'm not checking because I didn't know my name. I'm checking because I didn't know. My most used one. Well, I actually, when y'all said it over here, I got to thinking about it. It's the second one. This one.
Oh yeah.
But
Shaking
my
my
most
head.
used one is the with all the green vomit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's got to do with my reactions to social media, like
Yeah.
you know, talking about gender stuff
So gross.
and
Seriously.
yeah, it's
All the
just
wild
Yeah.
things.
it's just stuff I can't believe that we're having to ingest in today's society.
So
But
true.
so there we go. Well, now I feel like we know each other a lot better.
That was a good icebreaker.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Now we
Guys,
know who has Botox.
Sorry.
and who doesn't? Guys, I am so excited to welcome our special guest. You've met her a bit. Bailey, she is the Associate Director of Stand for Health Freedom. And we're so grateful to have her today. So a lot of our questions will be geared towards what I know Bailey does. She is going to give us a little bit of an education today with what I'm asking too. I have to start with the first topic. I went to the website and I was just doing some research for Stand for Health Freedom. One of the things I was surprised to read about Bailey is the comments of what's happening to our food source and especially how we're not really getting our meat locally. There's a Prime Act, I guess. Can you just educate our viewers a little
So if food isn't our number one topic, but it's become it because they're trying to take over our food, or they're trying to kill our cattle, or whatever.
Right.
So it's become a topic we've had to embrace. And so I think it's every 5 years a farm bill has to pass, and so they're updating, rules and regulations. And so I mean, there's actually so much, and it actually hasn't gone really anywhere. But they're really trying to wipe out, and I think they already have in the past. So we're trying to bring it back. Is wipe out any cattle processing local. So you have to go to like regional locations, which is costly and it's hard to get to. And they're really just trying to wipe out small farmers. It's big farm, big farm, big farm. And so what they're trying to do is it's Thomas Massey's bill or amendment, and he's trying to bring back local processing because you can get pork and chicken processed locally, but not cattle. So they're, we all know they're definitely going after our livestock. And they don't want to see
Detwiler's
it.
doesn't get local cow either.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know this. My sister, who's younger than me, but like way more smarter than me at a lot of this stuff, she came to visit from Connecticut, and she's very, homeschooled.
Yeah.
I took her to Detwiler's being all proud.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got Detwiler's. Look
Right.
at this. I'm like showing myself up to this wonderful woman. And first thing she does is she asks the butcher, where do you source your meat from?
I love her.
And I was like,
Wow.
what? Of course, she schools me every time.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let me go check. He comes back out. He goes, oh, yeah, we're getting that one from, this one's from Kansas, and this one's from, and she goes, see?
Whoa.
And here I was talking smack, like, we got
yeah.
Detwiler's.
Yeah, we got
or
local.
Almonds, I got
Yeah.
And I was like, she made me look so, and she didn't do it to make me look.
Right,
She just wanted
right.
to know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
unbelievable. I was so upset because I
Yeah.
loved that place.
What's
Yeah.
the name of the bill?
Oh.
Do you know it?
Um,
I can't
no.
remember it.
I was going to say I don't think I have it written down here.
Maybe I'll look it up.
Thomas Massey's amendment. No, not off the top of my
Okay.
head, and I should. But there's too
looking.
many bills out there.
I know
for-
there's a lot.
There's
The reason
so
why I
much.
said that is
Yeah.
because I want our listener. I was going to say our voters, but yes, your voters. That's just a mind frame I'm like
for
always
all of
in.
us.
Yes.
So, and I just love that you're here. I'm so excited about it. I just wanted, the reason why I asked was because I want to make sure that people understand where they, one, can go find it. You can go to maybe massey.congress.gov.
You can go to our website, and if you
Or-
go to Take Action, you can
Okay.
find all of our bills, and it's got a cow on it, so it's pretty
Okay.
easy to find.
So do that,
Yeah.
and then I'm sure we'll do call to action after, but I just to lay it
No,
out there so you
absolutely.
guys can go look at it, read the bill, support the bill, call
Yeah.
your congressman, call your local representatives because they can call them on your
That's right.
behalf.
That's right.
They don't think that they can, but they can.
Yeah.
And I just want to be real clear because I have to kind of, and I'm just going to say I have to dumb it down a little bit for me
Yeah.
and sort of chew on it a few times before it really clicks. So it used to be, and I'm from the Midwest. I'm a Midwest girl. You could drive and see farms for as far as the eye can see, even here in our area of Sarasota, Florida, right?
Yep.
So then you have development and other things coming. We talked in another segment, another episode about a lot of smaller farms going out of business. So the idea is, if I'm looking at cattle out on whatever road we are in rural America, that cattle is not necessarily the cattle that I'm getting at the local shop.
Not at all.
And why is that?
It's money. I mean,
Yeah.
it's rules and regulations. If the more they can regulate, the more they can control, the more vaccines they put in a cow, the more everything is so regulated. And if I have something local and I have a processor local, now there's less regulation.
Right.
Yes.
So it's always that we have to take it out of the local control to get more regulation and then to pump in what they want into
That is
this.
gross.
Wait till we
meat.
start getting charged here for cow farts.
What?
They're
Because
doing
the
it
climate
in New Zealand.
gurus, yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
You thought I was just making up cow
I
farts?
did.
Seriously, no, she
I
was
thought it
serious.
was like a Biden
They
comment that I
charge
missed.
the farmers for the CO2
yeah,
emissions.
CO2 emissions.
So every cow you have
part of your,
produces
like,
so
ESG.
much gas from their farts.
Are they going to
that they
regulate
char-
households too? Like
Probably.
might.
Oh, they.
They
Well,
are
California
household.
already.
They might
California
eliminate
already
beans.
regulates water,
Forget
so
our
of course
households.
they are.
They might just eliminate all
the
beans.
carbon emissions they want to eliminate is you.
Ooh, that's
Make
true,
farting
actually.
great
It's
again.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Swag alert! Swag alert!
Dear God,
I want
no.
a T-shirt. Hashtag.
I'm putting my foot down on that one. That's a no.
but every man might like that
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
So
God.
then no, because I don't want my
Gross.
husband wearing that crap.
Nasty.
I love it. I love it. That's pretty interesting because we said this once before on this show, and I remember Brianna, you were like astounded that there are areas that are vaccinating the cows, they're vaccinating the pig, they're injecting it.
The mRNA.
So let me ask you: does
vaccines.
anybody here know? Because I've been trying to find this and I don't know where to find it. How do we know if the package that we're buying, like let's say ABC grocery store, or whatever, we pull it off the shelf?
That's the mistake.
Yeah, you got to go straight to the farmer.
It's a
You
mystery.
literally have to bypass the grocery store. That's
Yeah.
Because they don't have to put it on the packaging what they've done to that meat.
No.
That's why you have to get to know your farmer. So you can't just go to a farm and buy their meat. You have to ask
ask the
questions.
questions.
And a lot of times, a lot of them won't do the organic label because it's so expensive.
It is.
So you ask the right questions. How do you finish the cattle? How do you feed them? You know, what's your processing? Do you vaccinate? Those kind of questions. You find your farmer and then you support the
Right,
crap out of this
right,
man because
right.
he needs it.
And then bring people together
Yes.
so that you can buy like a whole cow
Yeah,
or half a
split
cow.
the cow, yeah.
Because that can feed you for a year worth of beef that you can have. And there's so many different things you
When
can
y'all
do with
pull
beef.
up on
so
my little quarter acre lot and you
One
see
cow?
a cow in the backyard, mind your
okay.
business.
Mom, I
Mind
want
your
a cow.
business.
right.
I do have a quick question
I
though.
want a fluffy cow. Sorry.
How do you feel on this panel about? Is this an area where like state legislators could step in? Is there something that they can do to mandate that things be put on their labels? Is that more federal? Like, or do you think that's
So-
kind of not ever going to happen?
Food regulation is a federal thing. So, but we don't really want, in my opinion, I don't want
them
more
to-
regulation.
No more regulation.
So yeah,
that
so
regulates the
I would
food
prefer if our state legislators could potentially. There's probably a lot of regulation they could deregulate.
Yes.
I don't think labeling is one of them, but
1000%.
probably other deregulation
We
they could look
definitely
into.
need legislation to deregulate what our farmers and a
Yes.
lot of things actually. There's a lot of things that need to be
Well, and
deregulated.
vaccinations is one of the
But
huge ones.
yes,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to protect our local farmers
Yeah.
from, being swept up by private
Yes.
larger entities
Yes.
like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So I was looking here. The Prime Act that I was talking about is
Come at me, bro.
the Prime Act, PRIME Act, is Processing, Revival, and Interstate Meat Exemption. So that must be at the federal level. Is that,
Yes.
is that Massey's
Yes.
bill?
That's
Okay.
Massey's bill. Yep.
All right.
Amendment to the bill. Yep.
Okay. So do
Support
we
it.
know when that's coming up for a vote, or what we can
know-
just start calling our
Congressionally,
Congressional.
everything was standing still because of the budget.
Yeah.
So you would think our congressional bills would start moving, but then the Israel funding and the Ukraine funding happened. I mean, we're at such a standstill. We're not seeing any bills
Nothing
move.
is moving.
But it doesn't stop us from taking action. It doesn't stop us to ask
part.
them to move the bill forward. Get a
part.
hearing. I want to see this.
Yes.
We need to be telling
You
them.
can ask the Speaker of the House to put it on the floor,
Right.
because they're in charge. The leader is in charge of pushing forward legislation.
Yep.
And so the Speaker of the House called him, even though regardless
I
of
hear
how you
he's-
feel about him, you have to tell him what we want, because our country is built of the people, for the people, by the people. And if we, the people, are not telling them
Yes.
what we want to see,
Right.
we will get what they want.
And remember, they're hearing from other people. They're
They
hearing
are.
from lobbyists.
Yes,
and
Lobbyists. that's true.
They need to be hearing from us. A lot of these guys, they are smart, but there's so many issues that if we don't start talking about what we care about, they may not be educated in it. They really
that's
might
true.
not know. So it's really, that's why we're powerful.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Don't assume anything. I need you guys to reach out to your
Yes.
congressman. Make sure that they hear your voice, and also our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. I want to roll my eyes, but I'll roll my eyes and then follow it up with a phone call because you still have
There
to
you
do
go.
it.
Right. Yes.
We're going to take a quick break here at the home front. We've got to keep the lights on. If you like what you've seen here through the home front, guys, I really encourage you to go to the homefront.tv. We have a donate button there. We are citizen funded, citizen led, and we want to make sure that we never go through what we went through in the last 4 years where your voice is muted. You don't even have the right to ask a question or ask the question, where do we get our meat from? These are conversations we need to have at every dining room table. So I encourage you to go to the homefront.tv, consider donating. We're going to have a quick break. I think we're going to hear from Mike Lindell from MyPillow. Yeah, he's a great patriot. We should support him. MyPillow.com/UpNews. Up News will save you some money. We'll be right back with more of the Home Front.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Sounds rolling. All 3 cameras. We're good. Speed.
Is there any regrets that you have in life? I should sit here and say, yeah, I got a lot of regrets. But when I look back on my life and I understand the lives that were lost, I mean, I'm sitting here with you. And I can tell my story.
Former National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Michael Flynn pleaded guilty today to lying to the FBI.
He was one of the most respected generals in the military.
He was, by definition, the most dangerous possible person for Donald Trump to hire.
Really brilliant military career, serving 33 years. Why was he being so elusive?
Mike Flynn told the truth and faced life in prison.
Every American needs this historical DVD keepsake. Flynn delivered the truth, whatever the cost. Hand signed by General Michael Flynn, one of America's most treasured military heroes. Order now at the Patriot TV store. Go to Patriot TV, click on Store, and grab a once-in-a-lifetime chance to own a treasured piece of American history. And get your own personal download link to watch America's most talked-about movie, as well as a DVD hand-signed by General Michael Flynn. Use promo code PTV at checkout to get special savings. The Patriot TV store. Incredible savings and a secure, hassle-free shopping experience.
Oh my gosh, welcome back to the Home Front. Every time we go to commercial break, I just think, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. It is a hoot. We need to have like an outtakes reel or something of just what happens. The amount of times we talk about farts and CO emissions, it's wonderful. It's our dining room table, whatever. Guys, so I want to welcome our guest, Bailey. She is the Associate Director of Stand for Health Freedom. We're so excited to have her here. This is just...
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. This is great. Don't worry about it. I like it.
I love it. I love it. So we were talking about, where do we get our meat from and what's going on with our farming here in the country. The other part I want to speak to, I know on the website you guys talk about Exit the WHO, the World Health Organization,
yes.
Part 2. And I thought, this is a part 2. So give our audience, Bailey, a little bit of an understanding. What was Exit the WHO Part 1? Like we did pull out of the WHO, right?
Well, Trump pulled us out of the WHO and pulled us out of the UN and not the UN, the Paris Accord. He had pulled us from a lot of things, but Biden put us right back in. The reason there's a Part 1 and Part 2 is we've actually been working on this for almost 4 years, and a lot of people are just now waking up to what the WHO is trying to do, which is the World Health Organization, and so they're trying to take away our state sovereignty. Let's make it that simple. They're trying to take away the national sovereignty, which, in my opinion, is probably already gone. But they're going after state sovereignty is next. So the goal is to wake up your congressmen, and they really are. We've got, there was
28 states, I think?
There's 24 governors who stood up, 22 senators, and 24 AGs who have all stood up, and I might have those numbers a little flip-flopped, but who all stood up to say, we don't want to secede our sovereignty. So basically, it's just like this. There's like this meme going around that the WHO came out and said AstraZeneca, the shot that was for COVID, did not cause blood clots. And then what are we seeing now? AstraZeneca got pulled for causing blood shots. The WHO came out and publicly said that that shot didn't do it, and yet it does. And so we're seceding our authority, our global health authority, to somebody who gets it wrong all the time, and they don't care, and they don't try to do better. They don't apologize. It's not good.
Didn't the UK just pull out?
No. Okay. So we have a lot of like parliamentary members or congressional members, a lot of members speaking out, which is amazing. But you have yet to see a government pull out. Not yet. There's a lot of chit chat about it, but not yet. We're watching closely.
Yeah, that vote's coming up on the 27th.
It's in 3 days, I think. Yeah,
27th.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure.
But it's deeper than that, Bailey.
Oh man, there's so much to it.
Like, I mean, I would kind of say it's what we all went through during COVID.
Yes.
Like if you could picture New York, how bad they were, vaccine passport, and what the government forced, lockdowns. That would
going
be
into your
controlled
house, taking
by
all the time.
WHO, and we are giving our rights away during emergency. Now the other emergency is if it's clean. They could do it with energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The crisis.
Well, and what they're doing is bringing everything. They're really taking everything now and putting it into public health, like literally everything. And that's what. And now I can't think of what it's called. It'll come to me.
Even CalFARS.
Public health emergency.
Well, it probably
actually is.
It
could. And depending on what they had to eat the night before, it could be even worse.
Change emergency.
It really will be.
I'm not. What are like really?
Well, this is what gets me, and it's just because I have a very basic understanding of it, but so when you look at the founding of our country, right? So they come over. They're trying to escape this sort of totalitarian regime that said you just have to do barking orders. We're just going to tell you what to do. They risk life and limb and everything to come here, establish a more perfect union here. We have this wonderful country, and it's like going back to your abuser. It's like now we're backtracking to go back to a World Health Organization, an idea
One
of
world global government.
Because we never got rid of those abusers.
No, we gave them power.
Exactly. They've always been there, and we keep voting them in. So they're like, okay. So
or we don't vote them in, and our government decides that they need to we need
through
to
the
be a
three-letter
part of
agencies.
Them.
They bring them in.
Through the three-letter agencies that are not regulated by our government or we the people.
Or not voted in. Yep.
Listen, it is really difficult for me to not be cynical during all of this. It's hard.
It's so true.
And I want to make sure our audience understands, and like even Brianna, younger generation, when we talk about the WHO, it's the World Health Organization. It is a globalist network, as well as the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, kind of going back to this globalist, elitist cabal mindset, and that takes away every strand of our liberty. So when I think about New York closing down businesses, or better yet, requiring a vaccine passport saying I've been jabbed in order to eat in a restaurant. When I think of that, and I get nauseous, because that's not what this country's built on, the kind of freedom. When I get mad about that, that's one thing. But now to see the World Health Organization saying we're just going to come in and what is there to do, Bailey? What can we do at this point?
Hang on. I want to take it one step further. China locked people in their houses and they died.
Well,
because they
bolted
their doors shut. Shut down elevators. You couldn't get in or out. People were asking for food. There were medical emergencies and nobody cared. That's where we're headed if you don't act.
Yeah.
Not waiting for your next door neighbor to pick up the phone and call your congressman.
Right.
Not waiting for Bailey to get on the phone and work with her organization. Not waiting for Michelle to get elected at the state local house. Not waiting for Tanya to go to her clinic and help all the people. This is your country. What are you going to do about it? You can't wait for somebody else to do it.
Well, and we all know the
Allie.
phrase, united we stand, divided we
we
fall.
fall.
And if we don't all play a part, like we've become consumers of America instead of citizens.
Ooh, I love that.
And we need to start becoming citizens
Go
again and
Bailey.
caring about what is happening. So I mean, everybody has to play their part. It's not that hard. I remember the first time I met with my state legislator. I was as nervous as can be.
Absolutely.
But like after the 7th time and he's like, oh, here comes Bailey again. It's like he's just an average Joe.
Yes.
And I'm an average girl. You know, it's not that
Right.
big of a deal. And now he knows what I believe and what I think because I've been willing to just go talk to him. It's a 10-minute conversation.
Don't you think, like, this is my feelings on this, like, most people are sitting at this point of,
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
never,
they are.
It's
They
never
really are.
really gonna come to that.
Uh-huh.
They get, oh yeah, I'm listening to Allie talk about China and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
we
It's
had
true.
World War II. It's not. This is
right.
America.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
happen here.
I think a lot of people are like that still.
I do too.
Which is wild to me
You
because
know
we all
what?
went through COVID.
But you
Yeah.
guys know that we
Yeah.
are in a tunnel with each other, kind of.
It's like an echo
what's another
chamber.
word?
Echo
Like we're
chamber.
just all kind of we only hear from. Think about those other
Like-minded
people.
people.
Because
So-
even my son's girlfriend, she's kind of on the other, not other side. I'm not gonna say that because my son, no. But she's like not
Yeah.
close to this side, I will say. So this is all new to her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've been living and breathing this. We're like, we're right there. This is
Yeah.
how
But most
communism
people
happened.
aren't.
Most people
Most
are
people
like,
aren't.
take their phone out. I don't care.
And that I think
Like,
is
you
done
know?
on purpose because in order for us to
Absolutely.
live in the society we
So
live
how
in
do you
right
wake
now,
those people
we
up?
have to work 3-4 jobs, right, in order to put food on our table, and then we have to worry about what our kids are learning and how they're doing in class and like all these things. There's just a lot on our plates,
But
right?
how do you wake those guys up?
think
It's
just having conversations.
It is. What it is finding common ground with people.
But
You
they
actually
don't.
don't.
Think it's happening.
But find the common ground first. Find common ground. Do you care about, what's happening to blah, blah, blah? And if they do, it doesn't have to be the same thing. Just find the common ground with that person. I've got plenty of neighbors who do not agree with anything I stand for, but I find common ground and then I build upon it. And
Okay,
all I do is
so-
plant the seeds. I don't have to grow the seeds. I plant them and step back.
Okay. Because this is something I struggle with.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I
and
know.
'cause
I do
I'm-
too.
I'm running for an office where half of, I think people understand what happened during COVID and how bad it got for people in the hospital. And the other half are like, what are you talking about?
Right,
You're just
that
some
didn't even
weird
happen.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
What?
how do you...
So for someone like you need to figure out how to make it a kitchen table issue.
Yeah.
So you need to speak to it. Find the thing that would speak to everyone. There's got to be something. Oh, did you like being locked down? Lockdown was a huge for people who who wanted to wear masks and stuff.
You know what their response is? It's for the safety of everybody else.
Well, you could ask them, what about lockdowns like forever? Like that would be that's the future of what they want to do.
And
They-
I'm just
that's-
giving.
They're saying
doing
that's dystopian.
yeah, that's exactly.
It won't happen.
So I have a great example for you. So the other day, we have here where we live, we have a public hospital that has an elected board, which is really unique because we're able to go tell them what we think. So here, which I'm sure they
In
love.
3 minutes or less.
Yes, it's true. Here in Florida, where we're at, our wonderful Florida Surgeon General, Joseph Ladapo, has come out and asked, if you can't produce certain documents that prove that these mRNA jabs are not causing what we know they're causing, then we should pull them off the shelves. We should pull them off the
agreed.
market.
They should have been
So
pulled a long time
I
ago.
went,
Yeah.
this is a perfect example. I went to the hospital board meeting. I may have been angry about other things, but as I was speaking, people in the back were shouting, follow the science, follow the experts. So I said, again, all I'm asking is that our publicly funded hospital put the words of our highest
Public health official.
our highest medical public official, our Surgeon General, on the website. So I'm not, and then they said they said it again, and I said, Joseph Ladapo, our Surgeon General, is he not an expert? They shouted, no.
Yeah.
I said, did
But
you?
that's-
And hold on,
yeah.
wait. I said, did you hear that? They're not following the science. They are looking for an echo chamber.
There you go.
Yes.
That was great.
And that's exactly it. When you can get people to understand, so you don't think the Florida Surgeon General is an expert?
So then
no,
why
he's
is he,
a puppet. Wait a minute. When I said that about Fauci, you said I was extreme.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
because it's happening. It is happening. And you have to get close enough to people to just put a little dot in that rainbow of theirs that they think they're believing, and it's like, wait a minute, you can't throw caution to the wind.
So I know we always we bring faith to the table, right? How did Jesus talk to sinners? He didn't talk at them. Right. He asked questions.
He did.
There are more questions that he
That's right.
asks than statements he makes.
That's right.
Yes.
Ask
that's
questions.
great, Allie.
Get curious. Because once you ask that question and you keep asking the question and you keep asking a question, it'll become revealed, and then you can make your statement, and then it's like the light bulb.
That is exactly the reason even for this show right here. Because I have a feeling that there's a lot of people out there watching, and even people that sit at this table from time to time, that just know something just wasn't right. What did we just go through? What just happened? Maybe you don't believe maybe you took the COVID injection, so you don't like when we talk about that. Maybe you don't like when we talk about abortion, whatever it is. But you know that something was just off. We just went through something for 4 years.
Right.
Don't deny that trauma and that thing happened
Globally. That's huge.
Globally. And when we lost this many people globally before, in wars, in the Holocaust, when that happened, people had the courage to ask questions. And all I'm proposing to you at home today is to ask yourself, where did it come from? Why was it created? Why are we not getting to ask questions about it? Why were we canceled?
Who benefits?
Who benefited? Because it was not you and I. And it's okay to take your, FJB sign and throw it away, or take your Biden bumper sticker and throw it away. Have a conversation with me right now. I'm asking you, what the hell did we just go through, and why aren't we allowed to ask questions about it? I'm telling you, that's the beginning of it. It's not Democrat, Republican.
Can I add to that? I think we've lost a little bit of humanity through all of this.
I agree.
We've lost empathy.
1,000%.
So when
compassion.
when I'm with someone who believes complete opposite for me, it's a lot of listening. It's a lot of respect. I'm not sitting here jumping down their throat. I'm not a used car salesman for my side. I want to listen, and I want to have empathy.
I love that.
I want them to be able to hear me when I speak, so I need to respect them to hear them when they speak. And a lot of times that will open a door you didn't even know was gonna open.
That's
so it's
also
like,
biblical.
It is biblical. So it's like, let's bring back a little bit of compassion and empathy for what people have been through. There's a lot of us who got to see ahead of time what was happening. If you've been in the anti-vaccine, whatever movement before COVID, you knew exactly what was coming.
Yes.
Did you not?
We did.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
And so we're just like, oh, here we go. We've been waiting for this on a mass scale. And so a lot of us knew it was coming, but a lot of people had no idea, and they're still ridiculed, or they're still going through things. I know some of these states are still dealing with things. So empathy will take you so far.
That's really good.
That's a good reminder.
Slow to speak, slow to anger.
Yeah.
And
So
it
when
is
I call you all for more advice, send that to me again. Okay. Because I'm usually means I'm standing in front of, I won't name a name. This person right now, and they are
Yeah.
Yep. And then I need
and
y'all
then we'll
to-
be like, okay, Kevin, our producer, can you send that clip one more time? Bailey talking.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard, but it does work.
I'm gonna make that my
it's good
alarm in the
practice.
morning.
It's good practice too. We should all become good listeners.
Yeah. I should
you
do
know-
that with my husband. Would appreciate.
Yeah,
that
so would
more,
mine.
too.
But you're just so
Mom,
speaking to
we
me
should
right
become
now.
good listeners.
It's so true.
That's it. I quit.
It's so true. What was I just telling us in like another episode that sometimes you have to be humble enough to go.
It's true.
When you have been screaming this for so long, you get to the point where it's like you're almost a little flippant about it. And I think about it. If somebody came to me like that, I would
covering my
or aggressive.
Ooh.
I've actually had that experience a couple days ago. I was in earshot of a conversation, and she was like, I will not vote for Trump because he said that he grabs ladies by the you know what. And I was like, that's actually not what he said. And I said that like audibly, and I didn't realize that I said it audibly, and I kind of like looked around. I was like, did I say that?
No, you turn around.
Did I say that?
What did you say?
I didn't mean to say that. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to like interject, but that's not what he said. He didn't say that he actually did that. He was saying that as a famous person, if there was a situation where you did that, there wouldn't be a problem because, and he's 1000% correct, because women throw themselves at famous people, and men throw themselves at famous women. So he's not lying, and he didn't say that he actually did it.
And nobody really complains when P. Diddy does it.
Right, nobody complains
or
when
Epstein's Island. I don't hear any names. So
or when the president showers with his daughter. Like, I'm just saying. So let's
Joe Biden.
Like, I can't.
What? Can you rewind just for a second?
What?
He did what?
It's just read the diary of Ashley Biden.
That didn't exist.
I didn't know he had a daughter. Is that bad?
No, that's because the lamestream media won't publish this. She has written a diary and talks about being younger, and
they're actually trying to prosecute the person that gave the diary to the media, which that's a whole other segment of a whole other different show.
No,
we're not even going to get into it.
That show.
We
should have a segment like that.
Yes.
Hypocrites.
hypocrites. Yeah.
That won't prosecute. That won't prosecute Diddy
hypocrites.
for his physical abuse and rape of people, but will
Amen,
prosecute.
sister.
Because it's outside of the statute of limitations, but will prosecute Trump over Stormy Daniels and some other chick who can't remember when, what, where, or why. I can't. I love y'all.
Today.
I think I have a solution to this, guys. What? 2 words. Mag dump.
Now you're speaking my husband's language.
Mag dump.
There's only one way to get rid of this problem.
And MAGA Realty, everybody!
Buy a house, get your ARs, let's go.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! If I could try to just ask another follow-up question.
No, I'm all excited now.
You heard about the World Health Organization. You heard about how the push is by Stand for Health Freedom is to exit the WHO again, because again, we did it the first time through Trump, trying to get us out of global organizations, mind our own business, America first. Yes. Biden puts us back in it.
Right away.
Right away. So I know it's Exit the WHO Part 2. Tell us about, there's HR 72 that's in Congress. I guess it's about the treaty. The World Health Organization is forming a treaty. It's going to be voted on soon. Can you two ladies kind of educate us, because I knew I tell you I knew nothing about this.
Okay.
Scary.
Well, Andy Biggs in Arizona filed HR 72, which would withdraw us from the WHO. So it's a pretty simple bill. It's not long. It's a page, and it's literally just withdrawing us. So our goal with this, what you keep saying, is exit the WHO too. The first time we put it out there, we got, I think, 30-some congressmen to sign on and co-sponsor the bill. And so we're asking for people to go back and try to get after the rest. So we're up to 60 sponsors on the co-sponsors on the bill.
Okay, good.
It's great, but I think maybe the next step will be we need a hearing. Like we need to start doing something. And I'm sure now nothing's going to happen. It's in 3 days.
Yeah.
But I assume there'll be a lot of education happening after, because we don't know yet what's going to happen. All of it is. If I even took time to go into all of what's happening with the WHO, the things, the way they're doing things illegally, they're not even following their own rules and stipulations. They're just doing whatever they want. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of it, and then there's going to be a lot of education afterwards. Because
they can't put us in a treaty. Doesn't it take an act of Congress?
The Senate. That's the point of Senate, is to ratify it. So they changed the name to an agreement, so that it's no longer actually a treaty, which it still is. You can't just change the name of something and
make it not what.
Yes. So.
But apparently we do that a lot, where we have treaties and we don't get. Well, I just found that out.
Like like we're at war and Congress didn't sanction it.
Exactly.
So we're not following our constitution.
No.
We're actually at war, but
when you have boots on the ground in another country and Congress didn't say that they are allowed to be there and actually return fire, that's war without Congress being sanctioned.
The pier?
Yes.
Because they were on the pier. So,
They're like, we don't have boots on the ground. We have boots on a bridge that's in water.
That's over water.
Okay, so I know what you're referring to.
With no support.
In Gaza, where we're building a pier to help bring supplies in, there were shots exchanged.
Better do that emoji face.
Oh my gosh.
Suspicious.
So, and what I was trying to get to about when we were talking about being humble and just listening, like I didn't realize that the woman that said that had come a really long way from where she was like politically to even say that she just wasn't going to vote for president. She was just going to vote locally for people that she felt would make the change that she needed to see, because she just felt so strongly like, I don't like the way they talk about women. Like, that's her conviction. And she's just like, I just can't. I can't vote for him, and I can't vote for him because it just doesn't matter. And I was just like, but I just really just want to encourage you to look at policy. Don't vote for personality. Vote for policy? What are they going to actually do when it comes to doing the job that they are trying to be hired in?
Well, the other thing is that, okay, if our home is our castle,
Yes.
then our local officials and our town are castle walls. So first you fortify with your local, and then you make sure you're fortifying with state, because that's actually also your next boundary. And then you go congressional and presidential. So I mean, I agree, presidential, they're not actually supposed to have so much power.
Right,
the president isn't really supposed to be able to do all the stuff that Biden's been doing.
Well, and it's all
So,
through executive order, and that's why we
Or
have
legal.
a Congress and a Senate, because they are
They're supposed to
to
be checks and balances.
the balance of powers, and that's why there has been articles of impeachment brought forward by Congressman Corey Mills, because our president has violated so many of his roles and responsibilities. It's absolutely wild. But I'm glad that you guys are doing this.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
for our audience, I want them to kind of know, if that's okay,
Yes, ma'am.
where how you got started with all of this.
Oh, me?
Because I know we kind of
Yeah.
just jumped in this
Yeah.
and was like the WHO and this is what you're gonna do and this
Right.
so I just want to give them a little bit of background about
Yeah.
who you are and like
Sure.
why you got started.
I would love to. So I got married, got pregnant, didn't plan on having children actually. I think it's a gift from God that I got pregnant, but I am vaccine injured myself. I went to go to college. My doctor told me she lost my medical records, which is really crazy because I've had her forever. And so she re-injected me to go to college. And so I've had really weird like neurosensitivities that I've never been able to I didn't ever connect the dots until I started doing research and deep dive on vaccines to have a child. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is all me. And I didn't realize that's why I had some weird stuff going on or whatever. And so
That's actually how we met.
Yes, that's right. It's exactly how we met. And so I've been the second I found out about, the dangers of vaccines and the truth that they're not telling us, I was like lit on fire. And that was the end of, I used to be an interior designer. I actually worked for HGTV. Like I had a nice life. I know.
Sorry, I love
No,
that.
that's okay. But I was lit on fire, and that was it. So for the past decade, I have been an activist, just trying to change law. Listen, people can have a choice. You can decide what you want to do for your body and your child's body, but you should be educated. And we don't have informed consent, and I've heard you speak about that many of times. And so I'm on fire for people just knowing, just have the information. If you make a decision that I disagree with, it's not on me anymore, but I know you know the information, and I'm good with it. So and who knew? Like when I met you, if we would say the word vaccine anywhere, it's like rah, or you don't see it in news. You would never see it in news, and like I would have alerts set up for just the word vaccine, and you'd maybe every 3 weeks get an alert for something. And now like I had to remove the Google alert because it's like constant, right? It's so bizarre to live in this world, but yeah.
And so how did you get started then with Stand for Health Freedom?
Yeah. So I've worked. What's cool is Stand for Health Freedom works with local organizations. So we're a national nonprofit. We help amplify their message, and then we're connecting all these states together so that we're working together.
That is the most important part.
So I started out in Iowa, and then I moved to Florida, and I got right in with Health Freedom Florida, and so we were making policy changes and pushing legislation and all of that. And then Stand for Health Freedom came in and said, hey, we want to help and support you. And of course we said yes to a national organization. And then I actually lost my job during COVID. I traveled, the world or whatever, and couldn't travel anymore. And so they had to let me go. But it was great because the timing, I had met Leah, who's our executive director, and we were friends. And she was actually trying to hire someone else that I knew. And she was like, man, I don't think this girl wants the job. I'm like,
but I have the job. Isn't God good?
Yeah, God is good.
You needed to be there, Bailey.
Be a Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Be a Bailey. We're going to have more of
Hashtag be a Bailey.
we will have
Everything is
I know, but I do it to annoy you because I love you.
She's a millennial.
I'm
We do
here for
hashtags.
it.
We do hashtags.
We do
right?
hashtags. Millennials
Thank
do
you.
hashtags.
I don't feel
Millennials.
so old
No,
anymore.
this is what we do.
We're going to be back with more of the home front and more from Bailey. We'll be asking her some questions. But if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask those of us here on the home front, join our Facebook group, the Homefront Defenders. There is a QR code on your screen down at the bottom. Scan that and ask to join our private group. We have a lot of great discussion on there. And if you have questions specifically about, we don't even put vaccines on there. We do things like VA period X because you don't want to kill the algorithms to shut you down. But we want you to reach out and join that group. We'd love to have your voice be a part of what we hear here. Secret sauce, that's so funny. We'll be back with more of the home front right after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Welcome back to the Homefront, guys. My name is Michelle. We are here, thankfully, with Bailey for Stand for Health Freedom, and of course, our wonderful panel. We have been talking about some issues. We went from talking about farmland and where do we get our meat and what's going on with that, to exiting the World Health Organization, actually the second time. And I wanted to also ask you, because I noticed on the website, if I'm correct, our country gave, and I think throughout the world, gave immunity to those companies that developed the COVID, whatever the heck that was. So now I saw on your website that some people are actually starting to sue, or are you trying to get to where they're able to sue for the COVID jab? Did I just call it the jab? I did. Specifically, is it the PrEP Act or the Libel Act? I read about both on your website. I just wondered if you could educate us.
That's okay. So let me break it down easy.
Yes. Okay.
You cannot sue a vaccine manufacturer for damage, death, harm, anything. So if they actually made a literal death injection and you took it and you wanted to sue because your dad took it or whatever, you can't. They're indemnified.
But that was because of Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah, that was in 1986, called the 1986 Act.
I know
right
that
here.
one hurts.
Yeah,
that one hurts.
I know.
And look back on that, because that's a historical point and pivotal.
Lots of corruption.
All right, let's go on.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
So I mean, no, we're not trying. There is no way around the act right now. Let's just be honest. And I will tell you what's really scary and sad is that the WHO is trying to indemnify all vaccines. So right now, the 1986 indemnifies, which means you can't sue, the childhood schedule. So that's with all the vaccines that are on the children's schedule.
Yeah.
But at this point, they're all going to be indemnified. You won't be able to sue. And there's, yes, people should actually take action to try to reverse that. But until we actually even had any type of administration in that was on that platform, we'll get nowhere. It's like, you have to pick your battles. And yes, that's a huge battle we would love to pick, but no, we don't have anybody taking that battle.
So think about this. You get a vaccine, okay, and because they mandate you to get it or your kid can't go in school, right? You give your child that vaccine, and then your child gets vaccine injured. That's it. There's nothing you can do.
Right.
Period. So they're forcing you to do it, and then something happens, and there's
lifelong damage, or they die.
You're on your own.
So what you're talking about?
Something you can do.
No, there's not. We all know. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
This one over here.
So what you're talking about is the Libel Act that was by congressional member Chip Roy in Texas. Yes. And so he's trying to bring back, so you can, sue these manufacturers. And we did support his act for sure, because he's amazing and he's on our side and trying to do the right thing. But there's almost no support for it.
But essentially the vaccine companies, these big companies, they did this they did this legislation because they were losing too much money because they were getting sued left and right.
Yes.
Yes.
No, well, duh.
Create a good product.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
There's
now
no
there's no
incentive.
incentive. Exactly. No
So now they
incentive.
can just
This
spit
has
it
been
all
like
out.
our thing
this
for
is-
years.
It's
So
like
we're
just-
like,
yeah.
So question.
Hanging.
Yes,
Quick question. So solution-minded.
Yep.
It sounds to me like maybe a good place that a state legislator could go to is to really work from the angle of informed consent.
Yes.
The reason I say that is we were at the recent hospital board meeting, and somebody was speaking about the vaccine and the shot, and there's a lot of, people don't like to hear it. And so this gentleman just took the insert from
it.
one of the vaccines and opened it up.
Good.
And it was blank on both sides.
Yep.
And he said, all I'm saying is, how do you know what you took? Yeah. And how do you? And
That's
the visual,
impactful.
the visual, we were all like,
Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
they
there's
were
no
inserts blank.
ingredients. There's nothing. A blank insert to tell you, so you can't learn anything about the COVID vaccine. It's blank.
And then the warnings usually come
Yes.
from our Surgeon General, right? You look on a pack of cigarettes, what does it say?
A black box.
Surgeon's General
Surgeon
warning.
General warning. So what is so crazy to think that the Surgeon General gives a warning, and that is what I call informed consent.
is informed
Both
consent.
sides,
Yeah.
risk versus benefit.
Yes, risk benefit.
You have to
You have to have a
that,
choice.
and our own local hospital will not put it on their
Are you
website.
kidding? A birth control pamphlet that
Yeah.
is like,
Yes.
it's like,
and
it's
all
like
the
an IKEA freaking
Oh,
right.
Well,
instructions.
normal
And
vaccine
most of it
inserts are
are-
like 3
they're
feet
long.
tall.
Yes.
They're
And
huge.
most of, and that's not even a fraction of the information
Yes.
that you can find on the vaccine.
Yeah.
So the point
keep
to
calling
push
it a vaccine.
is,
It's not.
you know,
Well,
We're talking about all.
we're
of
talking
them.
about all.
Yeah.
But,
I'm
well,
doing
none
it
of them
myself.
are. I mean,
It's like I never
I
left
hate it.
school because
you're always school's
always
always
learning.
But that's the only way forward.
Yes.
The people who stop learning are the people who are dead to society, basically.
Yes.
You have to keep learning. So it's huge.
That
it's
is
amazing.
science, actually.
That is
Yes.
science. That's
It's
right.
a question. It's science.
See, you believe in
Question.
science.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
So when
Follow
I give
the
you like a million
science.
questions, I'm just science.
That's
Mom.
the first part of the
science.
question.
You're doing it in the sake of science. That's what you need to tell it.
Yeah,
Mom, this is
don't
all
give
for
her
science.
any
Oh, I like
encouragement,
that.
Tanya.
I like that.
She's on my wavelength today. We're talking about some cool stuff.
So maybe we attack it from consent because, and that's
Yeah.
that's the question I would pose. That's the question I would pose to our viewers. Even is, if you took any kind of medication or any kind of injection or for whatever it is, high blood pressure, whatever it is, you deserve the right to know. What am I taking? What are the possible side effects? What could potentially happen? And what are you willing to do to help me? Should I be one of those few that suffers those side effects? That's informed consent, and that is you do not have a republic if you do not have consent. It's only by the consent of the governed. So that would be my plea to you. We don't have to argue about jab or not jab or what you chose to take yesterday.
Yes.
But can we at least agree on consent?
And Stand for Health Freedom, if you go to the resource page, we actually have a sheet that you can download, and you can walk through a vaccine, or you could take a pharmaceutical, and it will ask you questions, and for you to write out so that you can you feel you've got informed consent, because it'll make you do a little research.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll make you help you understand, is this something I want to take?
That's a great idea.
Yes, yeah. We've got to give those to our kids, because they're going after our kids in schools.
Yes.
So we
Well,
have to
it's
teach
all
our
about
kids
the
these
kids.
things too. Yes.
It's like when you go to the pharmacy and you're picking up a medication and they want you to sign on the little pad, do you have any questions? And I'm like, well, do you
How
have
long
any
do
questions?
you
You're
have?
scrolling,
Exactly.
like,
Yes.
do you agree and accept this?
And it's
you're
like 45 pages
Yeah.
long. Like, who's going to stand
And you
there
just
for
hit the
40,
green
like
X.
45
No.
minutes reading
No. Yeah.
45 like I
Yeah.
can't go through a page in
Right.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
So the risk-benefit analysis is perfect for that.
Yeah.
To walk a person, if they don't know, it's perfectly
super
understandable.
cool. I love
So
that.
they need to be able to walk through if this is right for me or my family, and they can.
And that's a great way to sort of walk people through what we maybe should have been doing all along,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is researching for yourself, have
Yes.
some kind of basic understanding. Can I just tell you a quick story? Yeah. You're going to love this.
Yes,
oh my gosh. My daughter and I go to an ER. This has been a few years ago. I'm not sure if you remember. We went into an ER. Now, mind you, she had there was something like, you thought maybe you were breaking out from like a lotion or something. So we go to the ER, right? We're sitting there. Of course, we Googled stuff before we got there, or DuckDuckGo, whatever.
Yes.
But we're sitting in the bed. She's sitting in the bed. I'm sitting there, and the nurse comes in, sweet woman, and said, "So what do you think it is?" And I said, "Me?"
What?
Literally, yes. They asked us. They were like, "Well, did you look it up? Well, what did it say?" Like,
Wait, really?
I've
was their
literally
first
had a
question?
doctor
Yes.
Google something. I swear to God. I'm not even joking.
Literally.
my gosh.
I was like, yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
not.
know you
I'm
Googled
good.
it. This is what she said. I know you Googled it. I'm going to go do the same thing.
Yeah.
What? She said that?
Stop.
I thought it was a guy.
No, it was a girl. She was very sweet. Kind of younger.
Wow, okay.
Oh no, yeah, it was like all over my stomach or something.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
now she remembers.
I
Yes.
remember.
So, and I'm not trying to diss healthcare workers. I told you my sister's one.
Yeah, of
I love
course
them.
not, yeah.
But this is the thing.
That's
You
what we're doing, it's
you
not
have
us.
to go in there because I was able to say, well, I know it's not this or this because if you look at it, it doesn't look like that. You have to come in with some kind of understanding of
Well,
what.
you're gonna take my advice on what I think it is, but when I say that I don't want to vaccinate my child, you're gonna fire me from your practice.
You're not supposed to do your own research.
God. What was that emoji?
Tanya, we live in like
Yes,
upside
yeah,
down
we can
world.
get-
Like
my
I don't.
gosh.
I
Like,
know.
I mean,
it's
seriously,
clown world.
if the qualifications for being a nurse or a doctor is just Google, then like,
Google?
shoot, I'm in the wrong business here.
well, you didn't
She's like,
try.
I could
you
do heart
didn't-
surgery.
You didn't try the new Google Pro?
What?
It's just- I'm just teasing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say what?
Are you a Google Pro? 'Cause if you get that license,
Yeah.
you're
If you're
By the way, if you're
Google
looking
search,
for this type of information, don't use Google. Use like Yandex or SwissCows.com, or if you're looking for actual
DuckDuckGo.
information. No, not they got
I
bought
heard
out.
that one
Yeah,
was
okay.
kind
So
of-
don't do DuckDuckGo anymore. SwissCows.com, Quaint, QWANT. I think they still are good. Yeah, you got to find these off, guys, because you're not going to find.
You're not going to
information.
find. They suppress that kind
These
of it.
sounds like black market
They,
websites.
they probably are. Let's be honest.
you can't use Chat GPT either because I found
Well,
that to
no.
be very
No
One-sided.
leaning.
Yes. Oh, it's so biased. Yes.
It
It's
tells
biased
me-
based on
it
who
tells-
codes it.
Tells me
Yeah.
I'm mean all the time.
It tells
that's
you you're
not
mean?
a very nice thing to say. Yes, all the time. Because
So
I'm like,
does
well, if I
Siri.
want to say da 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 da.
You
and it-
offended an AI?
No, I do all the time. I kid you
I don't use
not.
it enough.
It tells me that's not an appropriate reaction, and I'm like,
What?
Tanya.
Really?
oh,
If
yeah.
you're offending an AI that doesn't have feelings,
It's programmed to have certain
love it.
feelings.
oh my god, wow. That's
Bailey,
a
I'm
new
so
level.
glad that you joined us today.
Thank
But
you
I
so
want you
much.
to tell our viewers, we like to give homework here on the home front. So
I like
one
it.
of the things I want to give you is to go to standforhealthfreedom.com, get educated, share it on your social media platforms. Bailey, do you have any place that we can send them to get in touch with you? Is it also standforhealthfreedom.com?
Yeah, they can put in Bailey, BAILEY, at standforhealthfreedom.com. We are open for any types of questions. If you have questions on vaccines for your children, if you have questions on anything about informed consent, we are happy to help in any capacity. We're definitely here to help the parents make these decisions because it's getting harder and harder. It's such an anti-parent world that we need to be pro-parent.
Be like Bailey.
Be like Bailey. Hashtag be like Bailey.
Swag
BLB,
is coming
I
out.
like
BLB. I love that. I love that. Guys, we want to give a special shout out to Cape Hayes Tavern here in Rotunda, West Florida, because they catered backstage and they fed some hungry
Got a
women.
little
So
food baby now.
check them out at capehaystavern.com. How about we close it in prayer? Does that
Yes,
sound
that's
like a plan?
amazing.
Join us at home, guys.
Stand.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my good Lord.
Father God, we just come before you today, and I'm so grateful to be with these strong, wonderful, brave women and all of our viewers. Father, I just want to lift up right now our medical professionals, those who are in from research all the way to boots on the ground. Father, I want them to know, I want them to hear our heart right now that this is not an anti-healthcare, anti-hospital, anti-science argument that we're making here. Father, we just ask that you would open the hearts and minds of those good people who have the ability to ask questions and have them ask the questions. Science should be a competition. It should be a race to the top. It should be a time where we are able to experiment and do trials and really ask the questions. Father, bring back the good scientific minds. Bring back the good scientific minds. Father, I pray for those that maybe are vaccine injured or are injured, period, from anything really healthcare related. Father, that you would help them find the help and support that they can. I thank you for people like Bailey who are on the front line of this fight, Father God. I just pray that you would help our healthcare system to heal, to lean on you, Father God. And I just thank you for it. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Yes.
All right. Find out more of the Homefront at thehomefront.tv. You can also watch all the reruns, binge it until your little heart's content at thehomefront.tv/replay. We'll see you next time. Take care.